Let me just jump back into Liza's view. Okay, hi guys, I'm back again. Figured out what the problem was. So yeah, what was causing the issue was having the left this phi had one too many links to it. So meaning when I was trying to move it, it did this. So once I took the actual link chain out, it actually fixed it like that. So now if I do this, it actually does what we need it to. Give this a save and save as, call it rigged. At least that's now over. So yeah, go switch this mesh back to solid. Like this. And what we can do now is I'm going to switch armature on. Switch X-ray mode on. Switch that clip off. And now, once we jump into pose mode, we've actually got a fully working rig. Move this up. As you can see, the deformations are still wrong, but we can fix that in a minute. Okay. Let's see how all the other deformations work. So that's not too bad, the head's fine. Let's see what the neck's like. Chest. Will need some work. As you can see, deformation around here, and that's actually too clean again. That's not too bad. They shouldn't be linked to hips at all, so they shouldn't be moving when I move him. Sometimes when making a controller rig from scratch, it can be a little bit more complicated than we all hope it would be, but once we get this controller rigs, now I know why. Destroy this link, because I thought that was causing the issue earlier, but it wasn't. So now if I do that, okay, we need to reconnect these controls to a hand because we don't really want extruded hands. What is that? They're already linked. So why aren't they moving? Okay. I suppose so separate. It's fine. So now there is there's different ways of doing weight painting, but what we're going to do first is actually use the X systems. This is a medium priced plugin. It is done, let's have a look, by this guy here. Really nice plugin. I got I got the XL, which I'm UK exchange rate. Give me a sec. The UK exchange rate would be £45, but I bought this on sale. It's a really nice rig, and it does fix a lot of issues. Well, it does create a lot more realistic animations in it. What you can do is, as you can see here, the muscles don't actually look like that in the picture. What they come out looking like once you create one. So I'll just create one now. Jump into pose mode. Select the upper arm. Select this. Hit up. Sorry about that. I set mine to auto aim. So click that to that. Then create. I like stylized. And as you can see here, it's creating muscle. What I'm going to do now is change it to local and rotate it around. What you can do with these muscles, if you've got like a unique shape, is you can actually edit them in the edit mode. So click here, move this down there, so it's more inside the mesh. So with this one here, move that down. So now that's done, all you need to do to make sure it's rigged. So I'm going to do a little bit more work on this. So click on the armature and hide it. So start retro mode. What you can do is if you click on the muscle itself, it'll come up with its settings down the side, and you can click on wireframe. And one. So that. Pull it up a bit, pull this down here. Sometimes you can guess where the faces are going to be, so you can select them. Select this, we'll go with one here, so if I pull that out up here. What I'm going to do is click off this, click on to the mesh itself. If it's selectable, no, it's not selectable. Select this and jump into wireframe mode on this one. So I'm going to change the max draw from solid to wireframe. This means you can actually do a lot more editing a lot quicker and not have to worry about having to. What's this? That's in edit mode. Have to worry about the mesh as much. Let's move that up, move this up. So I'm trying to make it so it's up to where the skin is. So like this. Close that. Then all you need to do with this software, once you've created the 2 points, like I said, just by creating those 2 points there, what you need to make sure you do is when you do it, grab this bottom one here and pull it down a bit. so it's actually intruding into the lower arm section slightly. If you do this, it means when you move your upper arm and lower arm, the forearm and the upper arm, it actually creates deformation. If you have it on the pivot point, it doesn't exactly work properly, so you need to pull it down slightly. It's just one of those things which you have to remember to do, but once you remember to do it, you're fine. So I'm going to create... Oh yeah, also you need to make sure you can rename these beforehand or after. I'd suggest trying to do it as much as beforehand, because like I said, this is muscle system _L, not exactly the world's greatest naming. So what we'll call this is bicep. Just like that. Rename that there. So I'm going to call this bicep _back. I create it. So just like this again. Create again. Switch. Make sure it's switched to local. Rotate around so you got there. So bring it out a bit more. Select that bottom square again. Move it down here. So that's now mostly encompassing the top part of the arm. I swear some days I can't tell. Okay, move this up here, move this up here. This here. Okay, so now all you need to do to add this muscle system, click on that, click on this, and apply. Same again, I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do is jump into pose mode, select on the rig again, select all, jump into here and create a pose mode, pose library. Create new library, add new. Call this V pose. This is what I call a V pose because it's not exactly a T pose, and with the arms especially down. Like I said in the past few sessions, why I don't like doing T poses is because you get massive stretching, especially under the forearm when you try to animate it. All the deformations go massively in. In films, it's not too bad. You can use shape keys and such like that, but it just causes a little bit more hassle. So I'm going to save this as plus. And what I'm going to do, grab this hand controller, move up, rotate the arm, add new to current. So if what we can do now is create keyframe here, location, create keyframe there, apply pose, create keyframe. You can see it's got like really nice deformation up at the top. but we'll fix that when we're weighting it. Now if we jump onto this, change this back to solid, okay, now we need to jump onto down to here, jump into the wireframe. Same again with this one. See if it's working. Sometimes you can't tell if it's working when it actually is. Ah, can you see there? Oh, that's there. Now, if you look at it, it does inflate back. So what I'm going to do is try to grab the hand controller again. Okay. What I'm going to do is apply pose. Oh. Switch to X-ray mode. Let's go back to 0. That needs to go to 1. X muscles. Just go for left. So this forearm left, what I'm creating, isn't just for the left side. What I mean by this is, if you look at your forearm, and when you bend it, one muscle goes out one side, one goes out the other. The way you create this using, I'm going to create it using on in this, use it on this character, as I'm going to create one on the left side, one muscle on the left side, one muscle on the right side. Again, you need to extend this out slightly into here. Rotate it around. Rejig the shape of it, just like this. So yeah, as you can see, sometimes it can be a bit of a pain, but once it's done right, it will properly work. So I'm going to leave it like that. Add muscles. Switch, select the muscle again, jump down to wireframe. So if I grab the hand controller, so grab this, what you can see is the deformation isn't jump onto material mode. Okay, material mode is not working. Give me a sec. Okay. So textures are there, but they're not showing up. Should save, create a new one. Yeah, it's in Blender Cycles, so it should be. Okay, so muscles do show up, so I'll just jump into groups. All scene, close it. So if you ever jump, if you go into groups, it will hide them. As I mentioned earlier, you can see there where the deformation comes out a lot more prominent, where the arm starts to bunch up. It's come out a lot better than the previous version of the skinning rather than just the bones. However, we do still get a lot of deformation, which we don't want. Just gonna see if this shouldn't have any. Okay. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to finish up getting these muscles in, and then on Friday I'll go through the weight system. Due to the issue earlier, and which has put me off for today's stream, but what I'll do is I'll get back to you on Friday with the weight skinning. Okay, so what we just need to do is create another stylized, call this right. Create stylized muscle. Rotate it around. The way I'm rotating these around is I'm using local mode. So down here, instead of using global, I'm using local. If you do use global, it can sometimes mess up, just because when you try and do it globally, it's using the world coordinates instead of local coordinates. And that's not ideally what you need as well. So I'm going to just move this one down a bit. Grab this. Click on that, click on this, then click on that, click on this again. So if I now click on the hand controller, switch X-ray mode off. You can see that skin deformation, especially around the wrist, isn't as bad as if I was just using bones. Because, like I said, when you normally create a rig and you're just using bones, you can normally split the forearm in two and then have one going through the center, which is your most likely your rotation. But with muscle systems, you don't have to do that as much. You can actually have it more reliant on the muscle system than the actual bone system. Another great thing what you can do is once you've got your muscles built, what you can do is click on it, go to the top, and there should be a mirror option. Yeah, mirror muscles X. So jump that. Do that. And it automatically renames it as long as you've due to it uses its own suffix system on the end, so meaning you don't have to rename it. Just want to double check which that one is. That's right, so I need to grab left. Mirror. However, this hasn't duplicated over the weight painting. So if I click onto here, it's only got one side of it. So you still need to go through the process again. I'm clicking on that, click on the mesh, go to the top. Come on. And create muscles. Back up around. So you can tell here if it's done it or not. So, to be honest, I don't believe the legs didn't actually come out too bad from the skin. We'll fix this because that's a lot of sausage legs. But what I'll do by the time I get back online on Friday is I'll have this fully done with all the muscles in, and then what I'll do is I'll go over the painting weight system. So yeah, I will probably be re-recording this for YouTube, and what I'll do is I'll probably upload it onto here if I can. So yeah, okay, I'll talk to you guys later, and see you guys on Friday. By the way, I do have a Discord. I'll post that. That's on my Instagram, which is at Rixel Production Studios, and I'll see you Friday.